Are we live? Online students on Zoom and YouTube. Am I audible and visible? Okay, thank you. So let's start with our class, right? So how many of you online, I'm asking, have done some kind of formal classes about answer writing? How many of you have done that? Tell me in the comments. So these two students, you have done some class, you have not done any class, no class, no answer writing as well. Have you done any answer writing? No? Okay. Okay, then let's begin. Not yet. Okay, Kangana. Self-study. Okay, Soma. All right. Then I'll try to teach you something. And this is the first class. This is the first in the series of classes that we are trying to conduct to teach you. Today, we will be talking about the basic level of answer writing, right? And then we will go to, like, paper wise, we will go up our level, higher and higher level, and to the advanced, most advanced level, let us say topper like answers, right? And Shakti and Kangana, no, Kanika, I no need to tell about them, right? They were our students. And not only those, I mean, in this time, even Indian economic service result was out. So the rank one, Mohit Agarwal, he was also our student. So it's more about answer writing, right? If you interact with UPSC toppers, like I have done in the last few years, many times, almost more than 1,000 toppers. So what happens that this is what students are doing, right? And when they get the rank, their only regret is that if only I have started answer writing earlier. Because is the UPSC examiner concerned with what you are reading at home? How many books you have read? Does he know about that, or does he care about that? I don't think so, right? You also know that. So if I am reading, let us say 5-10 lengthy books, but my answer is bad, and if she is doing a lot of answer writing practice but had only read 20 pages, so the examiner will give her definitely more marks, right? Because examiner doesn't know anything, he doesn't want to know anything about you. All he cares about the answers. And answer writing is entirely different from whatever you are doing in your classes, whether through self-study, through foundation courses, anything that you have done till now. It is extremely entirely different. Okay, so be ready with pen and paper. Online students also be ready with pen and paper. Keep noting down whatever I tell you, right? So this is very important. I mean, why I said this, if only I had started writing earlier. 2017 AIR 1, Anudeep Shetty, when he was asked about that, why did you take so long? So he said it that I wish I had learned the art of answer writing in the beginning, because I was in the pursuit of gaining knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. Even Shakti Dubey, if you'll ask her, right, it was her 5th attempt, right? So it's not about knowledge. It's more about whether or not you can put that knowledge in a beautiful form on the paper. You have to be articulate. You have to be concise. All those qualities we will be talking about. So then little bit, we will spend almost 5 minutes here. Then I'll start with the class, right? So reading is only accumulation, as you know that, as you people have been doing. And when you think about answer writing, what happens with you people? What happens? What is the common problem that you face while starting answer writing? From where to start? And one another thing that all the doubt creeps in your brain is that कि मुझे तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है, मैं क्या करूंगा लिख के? पहले पढ़ तो लूं, पहले notes तो बना लूं, right? When you look at the answer in the beginning, you think that I have not done enough. I have not crammed everything. I cannot think of the points. I do not know how to generate points. How will I write it? Right? Of course, sometimes you see the question, you see the topic, and you know that I have read about this topic. I understand this topic, but not enough so that I can write an answer on this topic. इतना नहीं पढ़ा कि एक खूबसूरत आंसर लिख दूं. और फिर क्या करते हैं? सेम बुक उठाते हैं या नोट्स उठाते हैं, देन वी स्टार्ट रीडिंग अगेन, वन मोर रिवीजन, राइट? कि टेस्ट अगले हफ्ते देंगे, राइट? आंसर अगले हफ्ते देंगे, पोस्टपोनिंग, राइट? we will make another schedule for ourselves, right? Okay, I will write every test now 5 days gap and I will complete all the pending tests. And that never happens. That never happens, because that will never happen. Why? Because we are approaching it the wrong way, right? So this is not what you have to do. This is what you have to do. Now, like you, two of you have written some answers, maybe one of or two answers have you written. So when you write any answer, I'll ask you, even the online students, when you write any answer, what happens? You feel like don't have enough content, but maybe I have some content, I can write an average answer. Once you write the average answer, you go out, you read the topic again. Now your brain actually memorize it in a better way. What happens sometimes, even that will happen कि एक महीने बाद किसी न्यूज़पेपर में कोई डेटा दिख गया तो you will be like connecting it कि यार उस दिन आंसर में लिख सकती थी. That happens? Yes. So that is why it is not only about mains. It actually gives you better and targeted reading, because now your brain knows कि okay, I am reading 50 pages on this topic, but UPSC will hardly ask 250 words or 150 words. So why I am reading, let us say 3000 words? There is no need, right? So that is also what I'm trying to convey here is answer writing improves the way you read. It enhances your effectiveness of reading. It shortens your syllabus. Otherwise, those books will always remain bulky. You will be reading what is not important from answer writing point of view, and you will be reading it again and again and try to memorize it and hoping that we will end up writing better answer. That is not going to happen, right? So, and it will convert your knowledge into high quality answer, right? Then comes the dilemma of self-discipline. Why I call it a dilemma? In fact, it is a myth, right? Tell me the most, I would say, disciplined organization in the country. Army. Yes, Army. So do you think the Army has discipline, like all of them are self-disciplined? Or is it enforced by rule? Yes. And most of the time, let us say they are in such clutch situations, like if they are not disciplined, then it will cost them their life, right? And if they do not follow the discipline, they will be court-martialed also. If it is, let us say, if they are not in the border areas, their peace posting is there, they are in some city or maybe in Delhi headquarters. If they do not follow the whole discipline, they will be court-martialed, right? So even when it is forced on Army, how do you think you can be self-disciplined? How many times you have tried to be self-disciplined? Okay, I'll be disciplined from Monday, now from 10th of this month, now maybe from 15th of this month, maybe, okay, it is 27th, I will start from first is Saturday, I'll start from Monday, and the circle repeats itself. The vicious cycle keeps on going, right? You're never out of it, right? It's a trap, right? So the point is, and you remember in schools also, if a teacher was very relaxed on you, was very lax, didn't say anything to you, maybe you didn't even make his copy, and the teacher who used to scold you and maybe sometime beat you up, all the copies are up to date, all the homework is up to date, right? Yes, that is what happens. So self-discipline is a myth. So what happens when you grow up, your parents send you here, right? And now they think that you are mature enough that you can be self-disciplined and you are aware enough that you will be doing all the things that are good for your career. But unless there is some outside force to force you into discipline, you are not going to do this, right? That outside discipline is must. You have tried self-discipline and you have failed multiple times, right? Like I have written it, right? That I'll be disciplined from next day, I'll be writing answers. First day you will write, second day you again write, third day maybe you don't write or you slow down, fifth day is gone, right? And that same happens with your study schedule also. You're studying, you're not doing it, because there is no one to ask you at the end of the day that have you completed your homework or not. If your elder brother asks you at the end of every day that show me your homework, and if you don't show, then he beats you up, won't you do homework? Because now you have a fear that somebody will ask me, my mother will ask me, or my father will scold me, right? So that is why, rather than focusing more on self discipline, right, because you are investing so much money as well as time, money is not that important, time is more important, the prime years of your youth. So it is better you have that system around yourself which force you to be disciplined, rather than waiting that I will be disciplined. It is not going to happen. We see toppers, we see that, okay, this topper got rank 1 in first attempt, that topper got rank 1 in that attempt, right? We see all of them, right? But we do not know how many people were around them, how many people were involved in their studies. Their mothers were waking them at 5:30 in the morning, giving them coffee, right? Maybe their elder brother was checking their homework every day, whether or not they did that. I'm not talking about 0.1% of people who are self-disciplined, but 99.9%, no, it doesn't work, right? So do not stay or do not depend on self-discipline. Create a system, whether it can be your elder brother, it can be your mother, right? And for that to create, you have to sacrifice what? Your freedom, right? People talk about sacrifices, that I sacrificed, I did not go into my friend's birthday party or their wedding party, or his sister's wedding party, something like that. That is not a sacrifice. If you are deciding the sacrifice by your own choice, that was never a sacrifice. You chose not to go to home because you wanted to study in Diwali or in any, let us say, festival. That was not a sacrifice. Sacrifice means sacrifice of your liberty, of your freedom. This is the sacrifice that you have to do. That you are not even in a position to choose whether I can go or not. Someone else will tell you, you can go or not. You are not in a position. Then you have done the sacrifice, because you are following a system, right? And one of the examples that come to the mind, Yuvraj Singh, cricketer. If had it not been, let us say, his father, Yogaraj, did he give Yuvraj Singh any choice of skipping practice, of not doing anything, right? You have seen interviews online, you can go and see. He was so intensive that people say that Yuvraj might have died, right? Only then we see World Cup champions, right? So something like that you have to build around yourself, a system that forces you to be disciplined. Do not trust your own self. This is all I'm saying. If you think I can do it, good, but you cannot do it alone. There should be someone to push you. Okay? Now, I think I told this. Now let us see the basics of answer writing, right? So what does a UPSC answer should look like? Mostly UPSC asks two types of questions. One is 150 word and second is 250 word, right? In GS 1, 2, 3, 4 also. In 4 they ask case studies, right? You know that. Why answer writing is important? You know that. 750 marks. Your whole selection depends upon this. This is why it is important. I'm not going to emphasize it again and again, right? So to write any good answer, what you need to have? There are 3 things which all of you know. It is basics of answer writing. We will go deeper as the class go on, or in the next class and the next class. There will be many classes, right? So the first thing is, it should have an introduction, right? It should have a body part, and it should have a conclusion also. This is very basic. The most basic thing. You know that, right? But tell me, what makes a good introduction? Online students, please tell me what makes a good introduction. What do you think should be in a good introduction? Catchy, okay. Okay, you show the context that, okay, I got the demand, fine. Current based, that can be. Data, we can use that. Definition, we can use that, but what would you do? Let us say if I give you an option of a definition and an option of data. Why data? Why not definition then? Okay, let us say there is a question about poverty or inequality. Then data. Why not definition? Definition is very general intro. Yes. Meaning of major word. Okay. Reasonable plus minimum plus concise. Kangana, what do you mean by minimum? Okay. Tell me what should be the word limit. 10 to 15% of whole question. That means for a 150 word, very good. 20 to 25 words. And if it is a 250 word, it can go up to max 30 words, but not more than that. No, not the recap of whole question. Introduction should be contextual, right? Let us say if we are talking about, I'll take a sample question and all of you try to write the introduction, okay? I'll take a sample question so that you can understand it better, right? So the question is, discuss the role of department related standing committees in improving the effectiveness, this is effectiveness and efficiency of parliament. P for parliament. Okay, simple question. Simple question. Let's not put any word limit over it. Okay, so discuss the role of department related standing committee in improving the effectiveness and efficiency of parliament. What should be the introduction? But that is the body part, right? Parliamentary committee. Yes, Samuel. Yes. What is DRSC? Okay, tell me, if we are discussing about improving the efficiency of parliament, or let us say if I am discussing about poverty, would you stop? We are having a conversation. Your answer is a conversation between you and the examiner. Would you, in between the conversation, would you stop and start defining DRSC or start giving a definition of poverty? It is not in the context. We are talking. I did not ask you the definition. It's a conversation. So why are you writing the definition? Constitutional reference, that again is giving overview of DRSC. Okay, that is somewhere I wanted you to go. Very good. So this statement is pointing towards an issue. The issue is there is the issue of declining efficiency and effectiveness of parliament. And that is why UPSC is asking this question, because we need to improve it, right? Because we need to improve it. So context is a declining efficiency of a parliament, right? So you have to start from there, right? Of course, you can give a brief overview of DRSC. Even that is a okay introduction. I'm not saying that is a bad introduction. That is even good introduction, right? Of course, you can talk about that. But what would be better or the best that you highlight the major issue, that is a declining efficiency of parliament. You should have some data, like in 17th Lok Sabha, only 16% of the bills were referred to parliamentary committees. Around, let us say, 42% of the bills, they were passed within 2 hours. It means no discussions, no debate, no constructive discussion, right? So that shows that efficiency and effectiveness is declining. So you start with that data, and in improving that efficiency, what we have so many things. We can do comprehensive parliamentary reforms, but one tool that we have is DRSC, right? So what would be better? I don't want you to skip anything, and you would be like, okay, so you highlight the issue along with the data in the introduction. It means you got the context. You know why UPSC is asking this question, and to tell the examiner exactly why this question has been asked, the examiner appreciates it. The examiner knows, okay, we are on the same page. The student is telling me why this question has been asked. He has been starting from there only, right? This is the difference between the rank 1 and rank 5, let us say 700, right? So you show the issue, right? But let us say you do not want to miss out on the extra information about DRSC, you also want to talk about that. So what you do after the intro, let us say this is the paragraph of the introduction. After intro, you make a hub and spoke model. You talk about DRSC, established in 1990s, this much in number, everything that you can, constitutional reference, you put that in the box. This is your value addition, right? This is your presentation techniques we will talk about in the upcoming classes. This is your value addition. So you highlighted the main issue here. That was your introduction. And then you came here, right? Yes. So this is how you write, and it has to be short and it has to be to the point. To the point means it has to be on the issue itself or on the topic itself. You should be involved in the conversation rather than giving a definition. Whatever you are writing, whether you write a data, sometimes definition can be a good introduction as well, but it has to be contextual. This many people do not understand. What they say, that either you can write a data type introduction, or you can write current based introduction, or you can write a definition based introduction, or you can write contextual introduction. You might have heard about this. So contextual introduction, every introduction has to be contextual. The definition has to be contextual. Contextual means संदर्भ, जिस संदर्भ में बात हो रही है. कई बार होता है दोस्तों के साथ, you are having conversation, you are like, ये तो point ही नहीं है यार, I am talking something else. It means he went out of the context, right? So if context demands, then you will be writing the definition as well. If context demands, then you can write the current events as well. So whatever you write in the introduction or in the whole answer itself, it has to be contextual. If the question is about define poverty, and then tell us the challenges that why we cannot eradicate it. Here you will define it because the examiner is asking, right? Yes. So everything that you write in the whole answer, it should be contextual. The definition can be contextual, data can be contextual, everything can be contextual. Now let's come to the body part. Okay. So in the body part, if it is a 10 marker, most of the time what happens, mostly it contains 2 demands or maybe 3. Now, it is very important for you to understand before going on to the body part. It is very important for you to understand, because what we do in the body part, you should have a comprehensive understanding of demand and structuring. That what is the demand and how I will structure. Structure does not mean introduction, body, conclusion. What structure means here? Structuring of the body part, right? So the demand and structuring. Right? So if you remember the last question, discuss the role of department related standing committees in improving the effectiveness and efficiency of parliament. So the directive word, what is the directive word? Give me the directive word. What was the directive word in the question? Directive word means what they want you to do. Elaborate the role of department related standing committee, or discuss the role of department, or explain or analyze or critically analyze. So discuss is the directive word. Okay. So you should be able to know the meanings of the directive words. We will be discussing those in upcoming classes as well. Okay. There are 2 types of directive words or command words as we call it. We can also call it command words. So what if it says discuss, or if it says comment on the role of department related standing committees? So your answer changes according to that, right? There are 2 types. What are those 2 types of directive words? First is critical, and second is descriptive. Okay. And this command word is a hybrid. It fits into both descriptive as well as critical. Okay. So according to the context of the question, according to the issue of the question, you will know whether I have to take it critically or I have to take it descriptively. Okay. If I say discuss the features of Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization, then maybe I will just write the features. and write what we learn from those features. But I will not be writing the challenges, right? But here the issue is declining efficiency and effectiveness of parliament, right? And I have to discuss that. If you ask me, sir, what is your role in Vajiram Ravi? Let's discuss it. So first, I will talk about my role. Then along with the role, I might also tell you what are the challenges that I face in fulfilling that role. And after the challenges, it would be, let us say, you can tell me what are the solutions I can implement to tackle this challenge, right? So in this question, what are the demands? The core demand or the main demand? Demand is also of two types. Core demand. In this question, the core demand is the role of DRC. This is the core demand. And most of the time, it is not like 100% of the time, not a hard and fast rule, but most of the time, when there is a core demand, you will make the subheading and write it in point-wise format. And if possible, you will substantiate point with some data, some example, some case studies, some committee's recommendation. You will try to, let us say, put some evidence along with your argument. Data, example, what are they? They are evidence. What you are saying is true, right? So this is, you will be writing it in, making a subheading, writing in point-wise format. You will avoid, and it is not hard and fast rule, but 90% of the time, most of the time, general rule is you will avoid making a chart, a flow chart, a hub and spokes model, a pie chart there. That is reserved for non-core demand and value additions. Okay, so the role, this is the core demand, right? And it is the only core demand, right? So how many points, good quality points, so you will be writing, quality is not negotiable, but how many points you will be writing? 5, that is minimum 5. If you look at toppers answer copies, if it is a 10 marker, they are able to write 12, 13 points. If it is a 15 marker, they go up to 20 points. Explanation is also a very good question. Explanation is very tricky in UPSC. You attend the classes, like you attended summer cells classes, you have done foundation and all. So those people, you might have attended any kind of class till school, right? Everyone has attended classes here, online student also. So what happens? This is a dilemma, whether should I explain the point or not, right? So, and many times, most of the time, you would want to explain the point because you think it is not enough. Maybe the examiner will not understand. Maybe the examiner will not know whether I know it or not, right? So when you attend the classes or when you read the books, the author of the book or the teacher in the classes, they explain to you so that you can understand. But you don't have to make the examiner of UPSC understand. You only have to show to the examiner that I also know. No, if the question is elaborate, if the question says that explain this phenomena, only in that case you have to explain. But here, if let us say you are writing role, so you will be writing the main point and you will be giving, let us say, very brief explanation. Any point should not be longer than 15 words. It will take a space also, it will take a lot of words also. You only have 150 words to write. And if I have to squeeze at least 10 words in a 10 marker, and I will be writing 20 words introduction, 20 words conclusion, right? 110 words I'm left with. 40 words are gone out of 150. So in one point, how many words I can use? 11 points, around 10 points. So can you explain something in 10 points? Not possible. UPSC is not looking for explanation. And that examiner of UPSC, that is very enlightened person, very well-read person. He's Buddha in himself. He knows everything. You do not need to explain. I'll come to you, right? You just have to show. It's more like a situation. Let us say you are reading the answer of a 4th class student. Do you need explanation from that student, or would you just by looking at it know that whether this student is intelligent or not? Same. So to UPSC examiner, you are that 4th class student. You just have to show that you also know. Okay? Yes, please. Yes, explanation. So even I am saying somewhere you have to explain, and some kind of brief explanation sometimes have to be there. You just write keywords and you just mention the example also. Don't explain, don't elaborate, just mention the example. But why do you think you need to explain? Did they ask you to explain agroforestry? Let us say the question is about agroforestry. Did they ask you to what is agroforestry? Maybe in introduction you can explain, give a brief definition of agroforestry. That okay, principles of agriculture plus forestry. If we mix them, we no, you don't need to explain, not at all. If that is why the keywords are there to shorten your explanation. Yes, if I want to explain about India's the secularism model that India follows, should I write one page paragraph, one page answer, or should I just say Sarv Dharm Sambhav, principal distance model, equidistance model, and move forward? Multi-religious society, peaceful coexistence of religions. These are the keywords that I will write, right? Not explaining things. Explanation does not help, right? You will be given the chance also. So it's not like you will never be explaining. Somewhere you will need to explain your point, right? But be mindful. So this is the core demand. Now, because the statement was pointing towards, we are again back to the question, discuss the role of department related standing committees in improving effectiveness and efficiency of parliament, right? We are back to that question. So the issue is declining. That is why UPSC asked it. Issue is declining efficiency, right? So the question showed some issue based question. So discuss, that was hybrid word. We will take it here critically. Critically means we will also be writing the known core demand, that is challenges faced by DRSC in fulfilling their role, right? But it is a known core demand. So either you can write in point wise format. Here you can be creative, or you can make some hub and spoke model. You can show points here and there, right? And it's a logic conversation. As I told you, your answer is a conversation between you and the examiner. So logically the conversation should move forward. It should move forward. So after all come challenges. What should come after challenges logically? Way forward. That is non-core demand 2. This is 1. Non-core demand 2 is way forward. And as you go further, let us say it was a 10 marker or maybe only. So you will be writing 5-6 points here, because this is the only core demand. You might write 4 points here and you might write 3 points here, right? And in way forward, let us discuss a little bit about way forward. What do you think should be written in way forward? Okay. What is a way forward? Online students also, please tell me, what is a way forward? In upcoming classes, I will be going subject wise, topic wise. Okay, part of solution or suggestion. Very good. But what kind of suggestions? Measures to improve, solution or suggestions? Give me one example of the measures. Any example? Sorry? Can you type it? Implementation word I am listening, but the other word I cannot. Future implementation. Okay. Reforms and policies. Capacity building. Yes, you can use capacity building, also can be used. But then this is the question. This is why I was asking it. Let us say I am talking about reforms implementation, or I am talking about capacity building. This is also a reform, na? Capacity building. So this is actually in way forward. This, what is this? You are telling what to do. Am I right? What to do moving forward. This is, would you agree with that, online students? In way forward, you will be writing moving forward, what to do more, what more could be done, right? But committee recommendation, but only those which are not implemented, Akshita. If the committee recommendation have already been recommended, you won't write those, right? Because that is step already taken. But rather than what part, if I am telling what to do, if I am telling community preparedness, or if I am telling capacity building, or if I am telling reforms implementation, what I am doing, I'm only doing giving guidelines to the government. Governments already know that, okay, they are facing problem, they need to build the capacity. So it is not about what, it is about how. The mechanism. Way forward is also always about mechanism. You tell how to improve that part. We build capacity, how? Maybe by upskilling, maybe by technology, you give. And here you give an example also. What you will do, you will give an example as well, right? For example, let us say the issue is about fake news. Example of what? Example of best practices. Practices that are followed by states, or practices that are successful in other countries. You will substantiate your point. For example, let us say it is about fake news is going on these days, deep fake and everything on social media. So in USA, what is there? On every government's website, there is a section called rumor control section. Right? So you can go to the government website and you can check whether this is a rumor, whether it is a fake news or not. Right? So when you say that fake news should be stopped, so what you can do, that steps like this can be implemented, let us say by WhatsApp, by Twitter, by social media platforms. It can be done on government website also, so that people can be made aware that this is a fake news. Right? So rather than giving guidelines, you have to tell solutions. And solution is not what to do, but how to do. It is very important, very hair thin line difference. Many people don't understand it, and most of the people don't even know it, so they won't even tell you. This is truth, right? So this is how. What? Okay, what is fine, but how to do, that is more important. Why that is more important? Because government wants to. Why government wants to hire you as a IAS, IPS administrators? Because in day-to-day administration, there are so many problems. And when you write a way forward, it shows your psychology. It shows your personality that you are a problem solver. Right? But that way forward point should also reflect that you are a problem solver. You knows what you are talking about. You are not just saying everybody can write community preparedness, capacity building, awareness. Everyone knows that, right? Every student knows that. Right? But how we are going to do that, right? So that is the major part, and that is why way forward is very important. It shows, it not only gives extra content in your answer, but it also shows what kind of person you are, right? Because it is related to your psychology and your personality, that you are a problem solver, right? So demand and structuring, did you understand? Tell me about structuring. Structuring core demand, try to write as much as you can in point-wise format. Substantiate each point with data, example, all those things. If you, as many points as you can. If it is a non-core demand is what demand? Which is not explicitly asked in the question, but that follows from the context of the question and the command word or the directive word of the question, like the challenges or the way forward, right? Then what you can do for those, you can use presentation techniques like making a pie chart, hub and spoke model, right? You can write them in point-wise format also, if you have the space and time, right? But if you want your answer to look a little bit different, if you have some extra data which you can show diagrammatically in a better way, then use that, okay? And now let's come to the conclusion. It's very basic. Conclusion, what should be in the conclusion? What should you write in a conclusion? Please tell me. And I know 90% of you don't know what to write in a conclusion. And all 100% of you think that I know how to write a good conclusion. 100% of you think. What if I can't recall any good quote at the very moment? Somebody is asking that. It's okay, that will be resolved. If not a quote, then you can make your own quotes. That happens. You know the goals, the saga, you know, Viksit Bharat by 2047. You keep reading those terms every day in the comments, in the newspaper. So try to use them. So tell me what to write. Resolving, but resolving though we have already written in the way forward, Samuel, right? Please, Kangana, repeat again. What actually you have understood from the question? A real-time analysis of the question, of the answer of the problem, right? But why would you write the real-time analysis there? It means analysis is what we were doing when we were writing role, when we were writing challenges, when we were writing way forward. That was the analysis only in detail. So if we are writing in short, those things only, we are only repeating ourselves. We're not giving any new content. But futuristic was way forward. Yes. So what you did, very good. What you did, we can do that. You linked it with some target or goal or some vision. If you are writing a way forward, then as I told you, I keep repeating it again. It's a conversation. It should move logically forward. What comes after way forward? Because in that question we were writing way forward. If we implement these steps, we would attain something, we would achieve something. What is the potential outcome of those steps that you suggested in way forward? Maybe we will be able to achieve, let us say, true democracy in letter and spirit. Maybe we will be able to realize the true constitutional values, right? On those lines you can conclude. If you did not write way forward, then after challenges, what you can do, you write those steps that you were suggesting in way forward in paragraph format and make it a reformative conclusion. Then the conclusion becomes reformative, right? But what a conclusion should never have or will never have, summary in any form. Summary of your answer should not be there. Some people summarize the answer. Summary and rephrasing of a statement of the question. Many students, what they do when they start answer writing, they rephrase the statement of the question in the introduction. That has never to be done. Or they rephrase the statement of the question in the conclusion. Never do that. Okay. Right? Because summary, yes. Yes, you can use quotations by Gandhi, Nehru, PM Modi, S. Jaishankar, all the eminent personalities. We can definitely use the quotations. But whatever we will be writing, it will be contextual. Introduction also we can use quotations. In body part also you can use if you can fit there. Right? It should fit there. There is no hard and fast rule that I can use only in conclusion or I can use only in introduction. But we are focusing on what you don't have to do, because that is easy to tell what you have to skip. Why would you use reformative approach in introduction? What is the introduction means? Bhumika, that you are introducing the topic or the issue. Then what you did here, you did not did that reformative, what you are talking about, you told the significance of DRSC. That is significance based introduction. Yes, you can. But what happens with significance based introductions or significance or relevance based conclusions? Because relevance you can write in conclusions also. What happens there? They become too generic. That is the problem, right? Then if you can supplement with some data, some recent examples, some committee's recommendation, then good. If you are just writing that, for example, there is a question about, let us say, Gandhiji, and I say that contribution of Gandhiji was very significant for Indian freedom struggle. I can write this about all the freedom fighters. This is a very generic line, right? Or let us say the same thing I write in the conclusion. So you have to be, let us say, little bit think about it, that it does not become generic, right? And why I said never write summary, because it leads to repetition. Don't take me wrong, summary can be a good introduction in essays, because in essay you have to write 1,000 words, 1,200 words. So what happens? Maybe you want to take that last 100 word you want to take it as an opportunity where you can remind everything to the examiner, right? You can remind everything to the examiner. But in here, you are only writing 150 words or 250 words. So the examiner remembers everything that you have written in preceding 130 words. And in fact, the examiner remembers last 3 questions. So there is no need to write summary there, okay? Because the examiner has not forgotten, right? Now, this was very basic. As I told you, the next thing that I want to talk about is little bit. This is a very little bit because this is only basics of answer writing. Right? Advanced we will be discussing moving further. Now what I want to talk about is language and articulation. This is also very, very important. Language is here what I mean grammar mostly. Right? Language means grammatical. You should not make grammatical mistakes. Or your language should not be very complex. Articulation is something else. Articulation is the way you tell or the way you express yourself. The way you tell something. Both things are interrelated, but again, both things are different with each other. Right? Both things are different from each other. Although they are interrelated, but they are different. Right? So language means grammar. Means, first point, it should be simple. Simple like a 12th class student who is not verbose. Like UPSC does not need Shashi Tharoor, to be precise. Right? You would not be using those words. So it means that the examiner is not sitting with the dictionary. Right? So well-known words which you read every day in your books, standard books, in the Hindu, in Indian Express, in your newspapers. Right? If you are watching Shashi Tharoor's interviews, stop before the exam, okay? Good for knowledge, but not good for language. Don't take the language from there, okay? It has to be simple. And there should not be any grammatical mistakes. Because UPSC gave you the option to write in English or Hindi or whatever language you can choose. And if in your own chosen language, you took the decision of taking that language, you are making mistakes, UPSC will not forgive you. That is not an excuse. And I see many times, many of you are not, you are making so many mistakes in sentence formation. Each की जगह am लिख दिया है, right? So I don't know. जहाँ पे past continuous use होना था, वहाँ पे past perfect चल रहा है, right? So that is, the situation is pretty bad. So if you do not have a good command over tenses, voices, narration, only these 3 things that matter, then take any book. It can be from your regional language, from Hindi to English, or from, any other language to English, and you can easily learn it within 2 weeks, not more than 2 weeks, right? Martin and Lowe, I think, not Martin, Wren and Martin, yes. Wren and Martin is a good book, popular book, right? Or if someone is from Hindi medium, then you can take JPH English Grammar from Indian publisher. That is also good. So tenses, voices, narration, all these 3 things should be up to date. It should be simple. There should be no grammatical mistakes. There should not be complex sentences. It means a sentence length should be around maybe 10 to 15 words. And 15 is a big, or I can write it 8 too. Once you are past 8 words, try to put a full stop rather than putting an and, if, hence, thereby, right? You can use that kind of language maybe if you are writing essays sometimes, right? But not here, okay? So if you read toppers' copies, you will find their sentences are very simple and they are very short sentences. And that is a habit that you have to develop. Why I'm saying? Because when you are reading the Hindu or when you are reading Indian Express or your books, those authors are not writing short sentences. They are writing long sentences. You're accustomed to reading long sentences. And you try to replicate that only, obviously, naturally. So these are the things, right? Now let's come to articulation. Now articulation also matters. Here, what I mean, the way someone tells, right? So for GS purposes, it means use of keywords. Rather than being verbose, in how I explain something, I would be very concise, short, and to the point. William Shakespeare once said, brevity is the soul of wit. Brevity means the art or the skill of explaining something very concisely. That is called brevity, right? And wit means intelligence. So if you can explain something in few words, that is the mark of your intelligence, right? And that is what UPSC loves the most. And how you can explain in few words? If you are using the appropriate keywords. So whenever you see your notes, just note down the keywords. Nothing else you have to do. Note down the keywords. If you can write the keywords only, you obviously you can explain it, right? But what people make mistakes while making notes also, they are writing down the explanation part as well. Avoid that, because you are only allowed 150 words in the answer. If UPSC asks a question on that topic, chances are whatever you are making notes, or UPSC will not ask it. High chances are that, right? So use of keywords is more important. It helps you be to the point. You are talking about what you are supposed to talk about, and it helps you in becoming short and concise. For example, again, the same example I'm taking, like the topic of secularism, right? So what is the keyword that I can use? Can I write Sarvadharam Sambhav? Or shall I explain, right? These three words, you can write a whole book on these three words. They explain a big philosophy. They're not just words, they are the whole philosophy, right? The whole model of Indian secularism can be explained through these three words: principled distance model. That state has taken a principled distance, not equidistance. In some religions, state might interfere more than in the case of others on the need basis. So principled distance model, right? Can I write another one? Peaceful coexistence. Of religions, let us say. Multicultural society, something like that. So the keywords are more important. That is the whole point I'm trying to make, right? Now, how to improve? We will go into that part. How to improve? Because when you will be writing answers in the examination hall, you will not, you have to write a 10 marker in 7 minutes. You have to write a 15 marker within 10-11 minutes. So you don't have the time to think there. So you should know how to generate points, right? You should know how to generate points. You should, all I'm trying to say is you have to first, the process is you should have templates, and not the templates that are there in the market. You can go and find there, right? Not the templates that are there in the market, but templates that you arrive by yourself. How? First step is you do PYQ brainstorming of, let us say, last 15 years. This is the first step, right? Let us say the topic is agriculture, right? Or international relations. Let's talk international relations. Let us say the topic is international relations, or any other topic you want to take, right? Then you categorize the questions into 2-3 categories. First, in brainstorming, what you will do? First, you will categorize the questions. You made the categories. Okay, these are the questions that had been asked on neighborhood relations. Maybe 5-6 questions in last 15 years. Another 5-6 questions have been asked from, let us say, impact of policies of developed and developed countries. Another 5-6 questions have been asked from international institutions, right? So for each category, there will be a certain formula or certain dimensions that you will always think about. I will tell you how. Let us say the question is about, and you go and apply that. Try to apply it, what I'm saying, right? The idea why I'm saying PYQ brainstorming, if the template fits in PYQs, if from the template, let us say you can solve last 20 years PYQs, the chances are the upcoming 21st year you will also be able to solve the questions, right? If there is a formula which applies in last 20 years, it will apply again. These are the chances, right? So let us say we are talking about international institutions. Right? Tell me some name of international institutions in the comments. Online people, tell me some name. United Nations, IMF, very good. WTO, ILO, ASEAN, yes. BRICS, these are groupings, although not institutions. ASEAN and BRICS are groupings. Okay. WHO, World Bank, right? So what if you go back and analyze the questions from this section, what UPSC does, they mostly ask, most of the time, what are the issues these are facing? Or if they are not asking this only thing, this will be a part of the question somehow, either through the command word, either in the non-core demand, you will be writing issue faced by international institutions. And almost all the time, they have funding issue, right? Their dependency on donors, right? Most of those institutions, not WTO, but if we talk about World Bank, UN, most of those institutions, they were made post World War around 1945. So they are fossilized in that time also. They are showing, or they are, still living in the 1955 world. They do not reflect the realities of today's geopolitics. That is another issue, right? Can we write reflection of geopolitics of post World War II? The power dynamics of those times. For example, the veto structure. I mean, how can you justify that France has a veto? And I'm not saying India, Germany do not. Right? Germany is a bigger economy. In Europe, if you see that, right? Or India do not. Many people, right? Japan, right? So they reflection of those times. Another issue is sovereignty issue. Can we say that? Why? What I'm saying, when let us say UN does some operation or some peacekeeping in the name of what the name is peacekeeping operation in some country that is having internal conflicts or something, so they are violating the sovereignty of that country, right? And it will be along everywhere, right? Sometimes World Bank will be funding a project that may be going against the sovereignty of some country, right? Another thing is, fourth point, lack of voice of global south. Global south, right? Yes, third world countries. So lack of voice of third world countries or global south, right? Fifth one is lack of implementation powers. Sometimes they say that, okay, this has to be done, but they do not have implementation powers. Their orders are only applicable for weaker countries, not for USA, not for, let us say, Russia, right? So 5 points you can generate, right? Easy. We will discuss templates also going further in further classes. I will be giving templates for each topic, don't worry, right? So this is how you have to think, right? If we are talking about, let us say it is about India, if the question is about whether it is India in the neighborhood, IR only, or whether policies of developed and developing world, right? So most of the time, what are the dimensions? They will be talking about India's interest, issues India faces, and what India can do to solve those issues. In IR question, this is summary I am telling you. So what are the dimensions? First dimension is, if I am talking about India's interest, then there will be political, Political interest mean that we have a good relationship with other countries. There are high level meetings, right, between heads of states or heads of governments, right? Then what we have? Economic. In economic, what we have? We can talk about investment. Can we? We can talk about trade imbalance and all, right? What another we have? Can we talk about diaspora? Our diaspora in that country. In diaspora also, what we have? We can talk about safety, right? We can talk about soft diplomacy. We can talk about remittances. We can talk about how easily they can get visa, right? What else we can write? Can we write diplomacy? How are the diplomatic channel? In here also we can talk about track to diplomacy, people to people contacts, or people to people diplomacy, right? Can we talk about our view on climate change? What are they following? What is their policy or their vision of climate change? Let's say India is a part of, or in fact founder of International Solar Alliance. Whether our philosophy matches with theirs. Most of the times our philosophy doesn't match with the developed world because of funding issues of climate change. So view on climate change, can we say? Or environment? Sorry? Sustainable development, that comes here only, right? What else can we talk? Give me more points. Science and technology, yes. Very good. What else? Defense. In defense, what we can talk? Defense. Defense में joint exercises, right? Cyber security, you can talk either in science and tech or either in defense as a security measure. Joint exercises, you can talk about import or export or sharing of joint technology, right? Joint patrolling, right? Being a part of some, let us say, military coalition, all those things, right? So, and other points also. You can generate points on these lines. Just for example, I'm saying, and if this is not ready, you will not be ready for answer writing. So what you are doing, you're reading books, right? Without PYQ brainstorming, without analyzing what UPSC is asking. You're making notes without analyzing that. Once you have analyzed, okay, these are the dimensions, then you will be looking for those dimensions only. And you won't even read the books, you will go to ChatGPT, you will find those dimensions and write in your copy. This is how you will make notes. But that PYQ brainstorming is very, very important, right? I'll give you another example. Let us say, first I said agriculture, right? How would you generate point if there is an agriculture question? In agriculture, what they ask? Mostly, what they will be asking? Tell me what they ask most. Buffer stock will come later, but first they ask about crop diversification, or we can call it as a cropping pattern, right? Do they ask that? Then they ask water use efficiency. Go and analyze, you will find water use efficiency. Climate change, impact of climate change also they will ask, right? And you said something, please say that again. Which, when I was saying? Crop diversity, no, you said something. Buffer stock, okay. And PDS and all those things, they keep asking, right? Other topics also they ask. There are many themes, right? But how would you generate the points? If there is a question about feminization of agriculture, let us say, right? If it is a phenomena that is going on, how would you prepare or how would you tackle the answer? Or it is about, let us say, doubling farmers' income. The topic can be anything, but you should have a direction that for this topic, I need these kind of points, right? So what, can you remember this word for agriculture? All of you can. I think so. Not a complex word to remember, right? I tell it many times, I have told it to the students, right? So what is F stands for? Tell me. Not fertilizer, but you're close. is finance, right? So in finance, so this is just one dimension. In finance, what you can talk about? You can talk about budgetary allocation till microfinance institutions, right? How farmers need finance, or how the role of finance in agriculture. It is at every step, whether it is research and development, whether you need to buy urea, whether it is subsidies that government is giving, whether microfinance institutions, whether the NABARD, the agriculture loans, the cooperative societies, everything comes under finance. 3-4 points here only you can generate, right? A stands for access, right? Just access. What is access? Access to technology, access to inputs, access to outputs, right? Access to infrastructure, if infrastructure is there or not, right? So this is, or access to land, whether if I don't have a land, where I will grow, right? And the average land holding in India, give me the average number if anyone remembers. 2 hectares is a big number. No. So the official estimates of 2015 says 1.08 hectare, right? But that was 2015. More than 10 years have been passed. Now unofficial estimates, not the official, not the agriculture survey, but it has come to 0.74 hectare, right? So land size again is a problem. So this is the access. Now R. What is R? R is research. Have you heard of Indian Council for Agriculture Research? What they are doing, high yielding seeds, technology, all the innovation, everything related to science and technology, you can talk in your research point, right? Then M is market. Whether it is local mandis, whether it is national market, or whether it is E-NAM, right? You have heard about that. Then E, environment, climate. Climate change impacts agriculture. Agriculture also impacts environment. The pollution in Delhi that we are facing, it is climate. Agricultural factor is one of the factor, because they burn the residue, right? Yes. So methane release by the crops, right? So both impact, and sustainability also comes under this. We have to become, let us say, find way towards climate resilient or climate sustainable agriculture, right? Then R, this is for reforms. What government is doing, or what state governments are doing, like farm bills were there, farm acts were there, or government came up with new step, or some committee recommendation, Ashok Dalwai committee you might have heard. So everything that government is doing, PM Kisan, Fasal Bima Yojana, agriculture subsidy, all those, right, micro irrigation, everything will come in here, right? And then this is social. What are the social impact dimensions? Farmer suicide, feminization of agriculture, right? Landless farmers, tenant farmers. These are, right, social dimension, right? And I farmers, this is complete. I for infrastructure. Whether there are proper roads, whether they have tractor, it all come under infrastructure. Storage facilities, because we have post-harvest losses. So this is just a general framework. Forward backward linkages, but that will be more suitable if we are dealing with specifically for food industry, processing industry, right? Then we will take that life cycle approach. Forward linkages, what happens before harvesting of the crop? Anything goes into backward. What happens after harvest of the crop goes into the forward, right? That also can work. But this way you can think forward backward, only 2 words. These dimensions you can divide into forward backward. Market is forward, infrastructure is backward. Sometimes infrastructure will be forward also, right? So just common framework, right? So all of this you need to make by yourself, right? And apart from that, when you write answers, another thing is answer writing and note making and completion of the syllabus, that should go hand in hand. You should not wait that, okay, I will first complete the syllabus, then I will make the notes, then I will do the PYQ brainstorming, then I will write the answers. Your reading Topic is completed, do PYQ brainstorming, start writing answers. In the beginning, you will be writing very bad answers. It's more like learning to drive. You know where is the clutch, where is the steering, where is the gear, but still you cannot drive. So reading the books is similar to that. It is like I am reading the brochure of the car again and again and hoping that I will be a better driver next day, but I'm not practicing. I'm not doing the practicing. If I'm not doing practice, what will happen? I cannot improve, right? The same way, you have to practice and you have to seek guidance as well, somebody who can guide you. Okay, whether this answer is good or not, right? If you are writing answers, you can come meet me, I sit there only, right? Whether or not you are part of any program, that doesn't matter. But if somebody who's writing answers, you can always come. You're always welcome. All of you online students also, if you can want to book, let us say, mentoring session with me, you can book, right? Not a problem. Show your answers. But the point is, start doing. That is the whole point, right? So this was just the basics. In the next class, hopefully, I think maybe the brain sir will come, or maybe I will come, we'll see, right? So we will take a section-wise approach. We might start with, let us say, art and culture, which is very hectic topic for all of you to write. You don't know what to do, how to write art and culture question, right? So we'll start from there, and the command words and everything will follow that process. I don't want to take just one class and explaining the command words. It would be better if that is explained along with the questions only, right? Wouldn't that be good? Yes. So that was for today's session. Okay. So see you all. Thank you for joining. Take care. God bless you. My name is Mohit Ahlawat, and email ID you can, okay, I will write it. I hope my handwriting is legible on this board. Can you read it? Yes. So you can send your answers there. Okay. That's it. Take care. God bless you all. Keep studying. I'll see you in the next class maybe, if you are interested in coming.